Okay. Hi, everyone, and welcome again to Priority Price List webinar. I want to take this opportunity to introduce you to all of our staff that handle our partners around the world. Just a second. Okay, let's start with the left corner. There we can see Peter, who's in charge of our Western Europe partners. Next to him is Todd, who's in charge of our America and Canada partners. On the right corner, we got Gil, who you all met recently on the intro meetings. He's in charge of business development, our rest of the world partners, and ISVs. In the row below on the left side, we have Ruby, who's responsible for the technology partner program that includes ISV relationships that have built a connector to Priority, and OEM partnerships for external technology embedded within Priority. In addition, Ruby is responsible for recruiting new global resellers. On the right side, you all know Meral. She is now heading the new pre-sale department and is your contact person if you need help with pre-sales activities. And on the middle, this is me, Frida. I am responsible for partner enablement. So anything that has to do with functionality related help, I'm your contact person. For this webinar, Gil joined us and want to say a few words. Gil, in a moment, the stage will be yours. Just a second.
Awesome. Thank you, Frida, and thanks everyone for taking the time to be here today. I've been with Priority for about 1 month now. I believe I met most of you, not all of you, and I hope in the next month or so we'll have a chance to actually meet with everybody and get to know each other better. The topic of today is obviously 2022 pricing, but I thought it's a good opportunity to also give you a little glimpse to our strategy for 2022, which is very much relevant for what you do as well. As you know, Priority is a growth company, and we've been growing rapidly in the last few years and have no intentions to slow down next year. Growth is important to our shareholders, obviously, as well as our employees and our partners who have more opportunities to grow the business and promote people and expand. It's also important for our customers who like to do business with successful companies, to our suppliers, and basically the whole ecosystem. While our growth is to an extent depending on non-organic sources, that is to say mergers and acquisitions, it is first and foremost organic and rely on growing our core business in what you and what we do for the past few years. In that regard, we continue to rely on you as our partners to sell more, deliver more, retain happy clients so there's no churn. And we're making a lot of effort to do that, and we are here to help you with anything that you need in order to grow the business and expand. So my ask to you is if there's anything that you need, anything that you think we should do better in order to enable your growth, which is ultimately our growth, please let us know and let's discuss any idea. In addition, we are also looking to expand geographically into new territories. And in that respect, we also rely on partners, which can be new partners that are already active in the territory, or they can be existing partners like yourself, if you have the desire and the capacity to step up and work in other territories. Once again, let's discuss it. So I'll keep it with that for now. Thanks again for joining. We look forward to a very exciting 2022. And before passing it back to Frida, I'll take this opportunity to wish all of you a happy and prosperous holiday season. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gil. We are now continue our presentation. Just a second, some technical problems. That's it. Okay, after we introduce all of the staff, let's move on. So here's the agenda for today. We will talk about the following. Why, first of all, we do this webinar. We will talk about the structure of the price list, the type of users that we have in Priority, the Priority Mobile, the API, the ISV, and the last thing that we have, our cloud. As always, at the end, I'll answer questions you may have. You can write your questions on the question box during the webinar. So why do we do this webinar? We understand that the price list may sometimes be challenging to understand. Now that we've published the new 2022 price list, just like last year's webinar, we thought this is a good opportunity to go over the price list, help clarifying things, and help you to be more independent when you need to prepare a quote to your customers. Today on the webinar, we have some partners working with Priority for many years, so maybe some of what I'll say is already known and understood to them, but we also have many new partners, and in any case, it's always good to clarify things and make sure we are all on the same page. So what we've got inside the price list, we can see on this slide the structure of the price list, and in a minute we will drill down to each one of the parts. We've got the packages, the special users, the modules, API, cloud, etc. As you all know, Priority comes in one of two packages, commercial or manufacturing. So the first part of the price list is for the basic licenses. The minimum is 5 users per package, as we see here on the slide. Please note that the license from both packages, commercial or manufacturing, cannot be combined with one another. On the slide, we can see that we have 3 columns for the prices: perpetual, yearly, and subscription. The first one, perpetual, is the price for a customer who purchased the license, a one-time purchase. The second column, yearly AULC, is the maintenance for the perpetual license. And the last column, subscription, is the price for a license on the subscription model. The subscription price is per user per month, and it already includes the maintenance. Important to clarify on this slide 2 points. Subscription license can be used both on-prem and on cloud. And then bring me to the second point. Please note that for the 2022 price list, new Priority customers will join only on the subscription model. Types of users. As you probably know by now, we have different types of users. It is important to understand that every user accessing Priority must have a Priority license, regardless of what he does in the system or how he access the system. You must have a license in order to access Priority. The regular user is a user who can use all parts of the system, all the modules in their license, and it's mentioned on the previous slide. You can find it on the package section. A user can access all the parts of the system, but he cannot update anything in Priority. A limited user is a user who can use only one form in Priority. Here, there are a few points to understand. The form, the limited user, can only be one of the 4 forms we detailed on the price list. Second, a limited user can only access the form and its sublevels, but cannot activate any actions. In case your customer needs more than one limited user, then all of his limited users can only be for the same form, meaning you cannot add one limited user for reporting hours to projects and another limited user for the same priority system for reporting production. On this section of the price list, we have also the API field license. This license appears twice in the price list, here on the types of users and on the API part. I will explain more about this user when I'll talk about the Priority Mobile and the API. The last one is the API user license. It's something you don't see here on the price list, and I'll explain more about them when I will talk about the API. After the types of users, we have the list of add-on modules. On the modules part, the prices are per module, regardless of the numbers of users using the module. The list of the modules are not organized by their numbers. The reason for this is that we think it makes more sense to put the modules according to their context. For example, the maintenance module, here, the maintenance module, which is an add-on to the customer service module, appears just after it. Some of the modules can only be added to the system that already has a specific modules. In these cases, it is listed on the price list. For example, you can add a meta reading module if you already have a customer service module. After all the modules, we have the API. I think this is the part of the price list which raised the most questions, and I will talk more about him in a few minutes. After the API on the price list, we have the cloud section and the general terms. And the last part of the price list is the overview of the modules. Let's talk about it in a second. I think this overview that we have on the price list can be very useful to all of you. First, it helps you to make sure you know what the module does. And second, you can add it to your price quotations to your customers. So it's very helpful. On the next slides, I want to elaborate more about the API, the Priority Mobile. We will start with the Priority Mobile. The Priority Mobile is our tool to work with the priority system from any mobile device. In the past versions of Priority, we used API to work with Priority Master. This is the old name of the Priority Mobile. Some of your customers are still working with old Priority versions and still use the API for the Priority Mobile, but this is not the case since version 18.3. If you still have customers using older versions of Priority, this is a good opportunity to remind you that the best thing for them will be to upgrade their Priority system for the use of the API, for the options to use additional modules and functionalities. In order to use the Priority Mobile, we need 3 things. We need the modules, the users, and the application generator tool. The module is the Priority Mobile module. You can see it on the price list. As you can see, the price of the module is very low. We want to encourage you to sell it to your customers, and we want to encourage your customers to use it. So after the module, we have the users, as we can see on the slide. When a customer purchases the Priority Mobile module, all the user he already has can automatically use the Priority Mobile. No need to purchase any additional license, just like any other module, if you think about it. So if your customer has 10 name license, all these 10 specific name users can start using the Priority Mobile. If the user has a limited license for the full UI, he will be able to access Priority using the mobile to the same form is entitled to on the full UI. Sometimes the customer realizes that now that they have the Priority Mobile tool, there are additional employees who do not have a Priority license, but now that the option to work from the mobile is available, they would like the access to Priority. In a case of a user needs to access Priority only via mobile, and he does not have a Priority license, you can sell him the Field API license. The name here is a bit confusing because it is called Field API. The name is something we carry on from the old method, as I spoke before, of using the API for the mobile. Please note a Field API user also must be set up as a user in the system. The last thing we need to know about the users that in order to use the Priority Mobile, the user has to be listed on the application for license form in Priority. The last part is predefined apps. You can start using them just right away. For example, the predefined is purchase approval, price quotation, inventory count, etc. If you want to build your own apps, you need to have the apps generator. As you can see on the price list, we now give it free of charge to every customer purchasing the Priority Mobile. So if I summarize all of it, when a customer wants to work with Priority Mobile, he only needs to purchase the module and define all the user in the Priority form, as I mentioned. If he wants more new user that will only use the mobile, he will purchase the Field API license. And if he wants to define more apps that he needs to purchase the app generator. Let's talk about the API. The API is a tool to interface between Priority and external system, like a website, a web shop, a controller on the manufacturing floor, or other system, anything you would like to connect to Priority. In order to work with the API, you need to have the API module, the API user, and the API transactions. The price is only on the transactions. The charge for the API is done on transaction basis. We sell packages of transactions, and we have an automatic system which counts the transactions as they happen. Two things you need to remember. We do not count reading transactions. So, for example, if the web shop for your customers presents data from the part catalog, this is not counted as a transaction. The billable transactions are only the writing transactions, recording a new record, editing an existing record, or deleting a record. When I say a record, I mean, for example, a sales order with 3 lines will be counted as 4 records, 1 for the header and 3 records on the line's sub-level. The transactions are sold in packages of 10,000 transactions per month. These 10,000 transactions are evenly divided between all the API users. So it is important to understand how many API users the customer needs. This API user is a user as all other, so you have to grant him the relevant privileges to do whatever the interface requires. Usually, you can have just one API user. And let's go back to the web shop. Many end customer can log into the web shop, but sending the info from the web shop to Priority will be done by one specific predefined API user. The less API users you have, the more transactions this user can get from the 10,000 transaction package. I recommend using the report which shows the transaction used and the user who used them. The name of the report in priority is API transaction count. Let's see how it looks on the price list. So we have two types of transaction packages by the type of the priority form. By the type of the priority form, the interface write to premium or not premium. The premium forms are listed on the price list. The non-premium are all the other forms, including any custom-made forms. On the 2021 price list, we combine the packages for premium forms with a package for non-premium forms, so that the basic package includes both types of forms. We realize it will make it easier for you and your customers. If a customer needs more than 10,000 monthly transactions, he can purchase the additional package at a reduced price. Both of these ones. Maybe the hardest thing for you during the sales process for the API is to estimate the number of transactions the customer will need. Well, I don't have the formula to help you calculate it, but I can just say that usually the customer knows the number of orders they get from the web shop or the number of calls the controller does in order to estimate. So that's it for the API. I must tell you that after all this explanation, during 2022, Priority API business model will be subject to change. So fun for everyone. Okay, the next slide is on ISV. On this slide, I will explain more about our ISV partners. The ISV are not really related to the price list webinar, but in order to avoid confusion, I will just remind you that the ISVs are independent vendors who decided to develop solutions for priority customers. Priority contains all of the functionality expected from an ERP system. However, in today's dynamic world of multiple business applications, businesses need to be able to connect external sources to Priority. And we need to understand that sometimes their solutions might help us on the sales process. So this is why I want you to get to know them. Priority market is the best place to find solutions, products, and applications that seamlessly connect to Priority. All of the vendor products in Priority market have proven that they have the know-how and capabilities required to connect properly to Priority. We worked with them during their development phase to make sure their process is aligned with the Priority logic, to identify the forms their solution will have to access using the ASAPI and more. We also publish them on our Priority market, but that's it. All these solutions are enabled directly via Priority authorized technology partners and do not require the customer to purchase an API license. Here are some examples you can see on the slide of ISV solution. E-commerce connectors, there are several connectors out there. You can connect anything from the familiar Shopify and Magento to custom-built connectors like Pepperary or BeSmart. Combo box, omni-channel connector to WhatsApp, messengers, emails for better communication with your customers, BI tools like Power BI, Anvisent, Messy, shop floor, online, and more MESS solutions. And the last one for this presentation is Nice Label, SaaS label printing software, and a lot more, as you can see. What we need to remember that a customer who is interested in one of the ISV solutions needs to contact the ISV directly. This can be done directly from our Priority Market page. The customer will order the solution from the ISV. All prices issues, implementation, training, and after-sales support will be done directly with the ISV, not with Priority. Each ISV solutions was defined as a module in priority, so we will add that connector to the customer license upon receiving a request to do so from the ISV. That's it about the ISV. Now let's talk about Priority Cloud. Now I want to share with you the information about our cloud. Priority is one of the first ERP solution providers to offer cloud ERP. Since 2007, Priority has delivered strong and reliable cloud-based ERP to a wide range of customers around the globe. Leading industry analysts Gartner and IDC included Priority as a representative vendor in various prestigious ERP market reports, citing Priority Cloud ERP as one of the top solutions on the market today. Hosted on a public cloud, Priority Cloud ERP is a full multi-tenant solution that currently handles more than 3 million daily transactions made by over 3,200 Priority SaaS customers and continues to grow. Priority Cloud ERP is SOC 1 compliant. Priority Cloud ERP offers ongoing and automatic software updates to keep pace with dynamic, fast-changing technologies and markets. Our cloud solutions complies with all the relevant security and privacy standards, as you can see on this slide. I'll show you for just 1 second, and let's go to the last slide for today, the configurator. Okay, you may remember that on the 2021 price list, Meral talked about a configurator. The configurator is actually a tool to help you list all the license and modules you needed for the customer. Well, this is still work in process, and we hope to be able to finalize it soon, and then we will share it with all of you. Okay, let's see if there are any questions. Okay. What models or users should buy a customer who works with the mobile and also has interfaces with external software? Okay. Let's assume it's a customer with priority version over 18.3. For the mobile, he needs to purchase the priority mobile module. In this way, all the users that he has already can be able to use priority mobile. And for the API, you need to purchase the package for the API. Okay, the second one is this. My customer who has commercial package want to start working with the production module. I can find it on the price list. My customers in on-prem model. Okay. So first of all, we don't have production module. Okay. When a customer wants to expand for the manufacturing and installation, all of his license should be transferred to the manufacturer's license. That's why we don't have this module. You can see the prices on the price list in the section manufacturing package. And also because your customer already paid for his commercial license, he needs to pay just for the difference between the commercial and the manufacturing license because he's on-prem, because he's already purchased it, this license. Okay, I think this is the last questions for today. Okay, thank you all. want to say just one sentence. Thank you for your time. I hope you found this webinar helpful and that the prices makes more sense to you. Thank you for being here and have a good day. Ciao, ciao.